Meet Logan Gin, a current student at UNC Chapel Hill. Born in Ohio, Logan has come all the way to Chapel Hill to challenge himself both physically and academically, standing at a near 3 feet and 11 inches tall, and on a good day 4 feet. He was diagnosed with dwarfism at birth, but he has not let his height prevent him from dreaming big. His lifetime dream is to become a professor at a university, and he is relentlessly pursuing this dream. With us, Logan Gin.
Hey everybody, we're The Possible. I'm Margarita.
And I am Cruz, and as you just saw, we have today with us Logan Gin. Logan, what has brought you to us today?
Yeah, so you all at The Possible reached out to me. I've been sort of following the accounts on social media and seeing all the great things that you all have been up to, and I really appreciate you all reaching out to me being here.
We really appreciate you wanting to share your story with us, so thank you so much. What are you up to now?
Yeah, so I just finished finals. This is my third year, so finals through fall semester.
Those are killers.
So yeah, it's hard to believe though. I mean, it feels like I kind of just got here, got transitioned into Carolina, met Cruz my first year when I was here and everything. But yeah, first year. I remember we had dinner in Lenore.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
I remember.
Okay,
nice
first off, I just want to say I've never met you, Logan. So this is our first time getting to know each other, and I feel like we've kicked it off the bat, pretty easy. But like the thing is, like, sometimes people may look at you, and people naturally, with disabilities, other people may look at them as just unfortunate or sorry. They might have pity for them, but you never seem like you had that. How is it for you on this campus and getting involved? How was it when you came here?
Adding disability or just some physical challenges on top of that can sort of change the dynamic even more. So even just transitioning, where was I going to live? Living on campus, how was that going to look like? How was I going to get around to my classes? And
let's take it back years ago. And I remember you mentioning that when you started elementary school, it wasn't really anything that you noticed anything differently about yourself.
Yeah.
But once you hit that 4th or 5th grade period, that's when you started to notice a change within your own surroundings and even with yourself.
Yeah.
How was that?
Yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, kind of from the very beginning, just with my family, and I have an older brother, Evan, who's 3 years older than me, and my parents really had the outlook that I'm Logan, and this is what I'm gonna do, and we're not gonna stop any of that, and we're gonna continue to challenge and push me and my brother. But about elementary, the end of elementary, transitioning into middle school is when I could start to see that I wasn't quite the same as someone else.
Right. When you say your parents were like, okay, this is Logan, you are Logan, and you would just take it on like, yeah, I'm Logan. First of all, I love that, because it's not like, okay, you're not describing yourself, with whatever features you may have, and there's no difference with you and anybody else when you put it that way, because you are just as much as anybody else, you just may do things differently. So, kudos to Logan's parents, because that is awesome. Like, that support that you can get from home is completely different.
Or even then, sometimes parents, kind of like where they do fail is where, we have, per se, a disability, and they allow you that excuse. Or if you want to put it that way, they allow you that excuse. It's kind of like, you have the option if you want to do it, but then again, if you don't want to, you don't have to because you got burned or because you have this. So I think that, like I told you yesterday, it's something that it's wonderful what your parents did, and obviously with my parents as well, because my mother was also like that. You can be dependent, but know that you can also start working to be independent as well.
Yeah.
How was it for you in middle school? Like, how was it going through those tough stages when people, would sometimes, I don't know, did people used to pick on you?
Or out of curiosity too. That's part of the time where people are learning different things.
I think that's where things started to get kind of tough, where some like depression and anxiety kind of people might say some things or ask some questions where it's like their curiosity, but then would kind of trigger my own curiosity, and like why is this the way it is, and things like that. So when I got to school, that's when I met Osaru in the 6th grade, and he actually just finished our last organic chemistry lab together here at Carolina. So we've been going.
You've been posting pictures on
Yeah. So we
also the one that would push your wheelchair around in middle school?
So that's actually when we met. He sort of took me under his wing a little bit and sort of showed me, like, kind of got me plugged into the middle school life and sort of how everything was working. And I remember distinctly, I came back to school, and it was like first week, and we already had like a test or something, and test was over, and I ended up scoring like 1 point higher than them on a test, and it sort of it got a sour taste in his mouth a little bit, and then it sort of led to us kicking it off, and then we sort of stuck together as just buddies for academics, and we were always doing homework together or studying together. So then from there, we just always have been complementing each other, and we kind of go well together. And
I wanted to go back to that. I know that you were talking about that you went through depression and anxiety.
Yeah.
I know when I was growing up, there were times when I would even hit depression and anxiety myself. Sometimes you do need professional help. I went to a professional, though they wouldn't pinpoint everything or even just like tell me like, okay, you need to work on this, work on that. That reflection, about myself let me get past to what I was going through. I know Cruz also, did something similar. What was your healing process like, Cruz?
I feel like mine, it's always been more of, I tend to be to myself, and I really haven't, I feel like I've always been more of like, I can't really open up to a professional when they haven't been through what I've been through. Right. So it's more of like, unless you've been through something similar, I'm going to keep it to myself. And it's more of like, that's just my nature, where I like to be to myself whenever I'm feeling sad or a little bit upset about whatever it may be, but for other people it may be different.
Right.
What was your cope of or mechanism to cope?
Yeah, so I have sort of talked with professional help, and then I think just my mentality kind of started changing and shifting, and I started to realize didn't really need to compare myself to other people, or that. What really helped too when I did have kind of the lower spots in middle school and things was quickly followed up by a lot of high points. So I had really intensive physical therapy after surgeries and things, and I can still remember the day where I got up and started doing my thing and started walking around. So with the help of yes, the professional help, and then the support of my family, but then also just the change of circumstances and things. I think now that's sort of what I live by. Even today. So
I know. I think the biggest thing I really get joy out of hearing is your perseverance. You know what I'm saying? Your mindset is just what got you through everything, like you're just might to get through and to keep going. Like kudos, dude. Kudos, legit, dude. Kudos.
You've done you completed middle school years, so that was more of like your toughest times. You had surgeries. That was kind of like the time where you were integrating into middle schoolers, and that was a very difficult time for you. It included bullying and depression and whatnot. Now high school, how was that?
So I was, getting stronger, getting more independent, using the crutches and sort of getting around. And the summer between 8th and 9th grade was when I made a decision to attend Eastmore Academy was the high school that I went to, which it's geared more towards science and STEM education, which I knew I was really interested in. And Eastmore was going to be a school that was going to challenge me mentally and physically as well. So, Eastmore, just sort of an older school, didn't quite have the, no elevator in the school, and, shoot, how am I going to take class on the second floor? Well, I'm going to have to use my crutches and sort of go up the steps and take my biomedical science class that I, really wanted to take. And actually, if it's surprising or not, but Osaru went to my high school as well. That's my friend in
dances? Does he dance?
He dances,
Osaru!
Yeah. Osaru's the dancer.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is that your friend too?
That's the guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Do you?
Yes.
I don't know.
No.
Oh, girl, Azaro. You know. That's awesome. He's a cool dude.
Yeah, you know, we were both in the biomedical program where, you know, taking these harder classes and things like that. I was a manager for the track team. I was stats for the basketball team. And I actually got to play myself. I was a bowler on the varsity bowling team. So I remember when I got my my license. So, you know, my brother, of course, I mean, I think like the day he turned 16, he went and took his driver's test to get his license, and I'm, you know, and I was like, you know, wait, I'm turning 16, like, why can't I do the same thing? So, you know, I'm like, okay, I want to drive, like, hey, Dad, like, you know, I want to drive my car. He works on cars for a living, so we spent the day at his work and sort of made everything for the car, and he took me in the parking lot first, so we had to make sure that I knew what I was doing, but because, you know, that was the first time I've ever, you know, been behind the wheel and did anything like that. And, you know, I was a little nervous, but, you know, after got the hang of it and, you know, did all that.
You
but
all the way back, you know?
Yeah. And then of course, then he let me on the road, and then I think I drove the car back home, which was, you know, kind of symbolic and powerful that I was, you know, able to come, and, you know, Mom got to see me drive and come home and all that. Then I had to go do the test and the driving and things, and so I did like an adaptive driving course, which was really neat to be able to do. But when I had to tell him how I got the pedals, I was like, well, like, my dad made them. And he was like, wow, like it was pretty cool. Like, I passed on my first time, and then, you know, got the license, and then from there that sort of even sprung me forward. And
how was your transition from high school to here?
Yeah, so even starting really very young with the Little People of America organization, which is for individuals and families with dwarfism. So sort of a connect group where they have national conferences around the country, and so that's actually where my orthopedic surgeon sort of comes in, and he's a little person, so it's kind of neat. I can stand up and, you know, look eye to eye with my orthopedic surgeon. So he's been you know, a significant sort of influence on my life, and sort of just getting connected with the right people and the right resources. You know, in the high school, working with a mentor of mine, Bruce Green. Mr. Green has just been great with like college advising. Yeah, Bruce Green, that's my guy. Shout out to you. no, he's been wonderful. Still someone I talk to.
Is that time of you know, in your lifetime where you have to decide where you want to go?
Yeah.
And I remember you mentioning that you really didn't know where, but it was more of like two main options that you had for yourself. And one was to stay home, and that would be Ohio State University, or it would be, the other one would be Carolina. Woo woo. Yeah. And to you, I mean, there was more of like factors that played into both, and you lingered more to come to Carolina for your own personal reasons.
You know, I always had like that you know, heart for Ohio State, but I was like,
I see you on Instagram.
I gotta keep my team. I know. So I put the 2 and 2 against each other, and I was like, wow, like. I mean, UNC was the best school that I got accepted at. I mean, you know, top-notch academics, you know, just great campus environment, and then with a better price tag, sort of made, So just sort of just being able to get away from home and putting the challenge on myself.
You have 3 semesters left at Carolina, meaning by May of 2017 you're done, you're graduating. And you want to pursue your education, and want to pursue higher education, and you want to do something with science and education, and eventually become a professor at a university.
Yeah, that would be.
Tell us
that'd
about
be the
that.
dream. Yeah, I got involved in the McNair Scholars Program here at Carolina, which helps prepare students for graduate school. I really would like to do some work in education research, science education research in particular. I was able to teach middle school for the summer, and
yes, please talk about that
sort
part.
of just kind of instilled the passion. I mean, it's you know, it's hard work and demanding work, but it's just incredibly rewarding.
And that was not even here. You went all the way to San Francisco, the Bay Area.
And what grade was that?
It was 8th grade. 8th grade. So I think just sort of the day in and day out of a university professor is sort of something that I'm striving for. Sort of being able to do unique research and do your own research, and doing things that I'm passionate about. Sort of doing work that's going to help propel other people to reach their goals.
Logan, first of all, I just want to thank you for being here and just spending this time with us. But before we wrap it up, I want to give you the opportunity to just kind of inform people about what your condition is, and to just shut down any stigmas that people may have.
I mean, having diastrophic dysplasia dwarfism is the medical term for what I have, and I mean, it's a genetic disorder, so it's something that I knew from the moment I was born that this was going to sort of change my life and impact my life in many ways. Some skeletal and muscular problems, scoliosis, those sort of things that sort of needed to get corrected first to allow me to get to where I am. And someone sees me, I would rather them want to first get to know me for who I am, and that I'm a person first. So like describing myself as Logan, who happens to have dwarfism or something like that, and really taking the time to get to know Logan, and then then knowing about sort of how why I use the crutches or why I use the scooter, and sort of how that impacts my life. But I mean, do what I can to make it exciting and adventurous. But,
That's amazing. That's just a reminder that whatever we put our mind to, it's definitely something that we can do, and also a reminder that no matter what you're going through, you can do it. Whether you're big, whether you're little, whether whatever. Here's an example of overcoming all kinds of obstacles, and not to mention you probably still are going through those things, but the fact is you're here, you're trying to succeed, you're doing your thing, and I see you, you're happy, and that's awesome.
Yeah, we see you, Logan. Awesome. We see you, okay? So look, we just want to wrap it up. If you can also wrap it up with us. Guys, I'm Margarita.
I am Cruz.
I'm Logan.
And we are
the Possible.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Logan.